roofing construction in Moreno Valley.
Go ahead and say it. We're all ears. KCAA.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And today we actually got a full house, which is pretty exciting. I always love having a live audience here in the studio. Shout out to everybody out in Riverside and San Bernardino and even Hemet. We got some Hemet boys here. So one of them was a guest. The other one, he's going to be doing some recording and stuff. So super excited. I know I talked about him for a while, just Memorial Weekend and me, having to redo shows and stuff. But we're finally here in the studio. He's finally here. I can't wait to, talk to him and have him talk about what's going on in the upcoming weeks. I know you got a show and stuff with a bunch of your boys, right?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to talk a little bit about that. But before we get into all that, Kyle, you know what time it is.
Sponsor time, snjradio.com. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. And Class City Entertainment, your local stop for entertainment music.
There we go. I'm actually going to let him introduce himself because, you got a lot of stuff going on. So go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
I go by the name of B Gravity. I'm a hip-hop artist, a motivational speaker, mental health advocate, future stepfather, and yeah.
Future stepfather.
Part-time preacher.
I like that.
Solid.
So this guy, I'm going to tell you guys a little background on how I met B Gravity. It was actually kind of cool. So I was getting my teeth clean, whatever. And he was like, "Hey, bro, you got some nice-ass teeth." Sorry. Didn't mean to cuss. Sorry, Joe. But yeah. And he was cleaning my teeth, and we hear, people talking in the hallway. And he, closes his door. He's like, I don't like to hear people talk. I was like, yeah, me too. He's like, I'm going to play some music. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm sitting there, and he goes on Spotify. He knows exactly what he wants to play, this and this and this. And as he's cleaning my teeth, I start to chuckle. And I'm, thinking to myself, and he's like, what's up? I was like, how funny that would be if you actually, do music, and this is, your songs. I think that'd be kind of cool, a way to promote yourself. And he's like, it is me. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, this is my music. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, I don't tell people unless they ask, but yeah, I play my songs for them and all this stuff. And I was like, that's actually kind of crazy.
Way to market yourself.
No, it really was. I was like, that's genius. Mad genius.
That was a pretty cool moment.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Because, you do that kind of often, no? Or
Here and there. Not
there.
every time, yeah. Because I honestly get tired of, listening to my shit back to back. So I'll play music always, but, it's not always my shit all day.
Okay.
But some days I'm like, I just dropped some shit. Let me.
Yeah, don't forget to cut.
Oh,
Not to
my
cut.
bad.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
you're cool.
yeah.
I didn't give him the 411. My bad, Joe. Yeah, so, and honestly, I never done music or anything like that, but I can only imagine, trying to perfect your work and, listening to yourself and listening to the same song. Before it even comes out to public, you probably heard your song, hundreds of times, so it's not but I've never experienced that before.
Never gets old performing it, but listening to it is different, I guess.
Yeah, so, we actually have a couple artists who know you and you know them, like Sonny Babel and people like that.
Yeah, shout out to Sonny.
You guys been in the studio a couple times before? Or?
Yeah, actually, my last project, Hidden Gems, we recorded that entire project in the studio.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we found our flow together. I was like, dang, we actually work pretty quick together. And it's quality too. So.
Right, yeah. I mean, both of you guys, when I listen to your music and I love Sonny Babel, he's an uprising star for sure. And you guys kind of had that same hard hitting lyrical beats, when you go for it. But it was funny because when check. We cool? Just keep talking. All right. Anyways, we're doing a sound check, by the way, guys. So if that's what makes sense right now.
Mic check.
Yeah, has anyone told you that you sound like a certain artist or anything like that, like your voice or just how you rap or how you make music?
What I get the most often is Logic.
Logic?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the most off the bat. Like every time, like I meet a crowd of new people, at least one of them says I sound like Logic.
Now, is that like to you? How does that make you feel?
It's cool because I was a Logic fan at one point,
Mm.
but I don't know. Like his last album was like all right to me, but
Yeah.
his music kind of changed. But like, he's a
Interesting.
cool person. Like
Yeah.
hey, I'm trying not to cuss. I'm just,
You go.
You gotta articulate your thoughts. Oh man, Sam and I went through the same thing.
Yeah, it was pretty hard our
Yeah.
first couple of times doing the show, but
I mess with Logic. Yeah.
yeah. Joe, he used to have a
Yeah.
Joe used to have a poster on the wall. He was like, every time someone cusses, you gotta like donate $1 to Joe. And I was like, man, I had this. My one friend, every other word was a cuss word. I was like,
Yeah.
and he was on the show. I was
That
like,
was like
it's gonna be a
$50.
long night. It was Harrison.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. I'm as close as I can get, Joe.
Yeah.
Anyways, so how have you been making music?
Probably like 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, 10 years. But
Okay.
I started taking it seriously like 2021.
Mm.
Yeah.
And
I
how
like-
did that transition? Like, what do you mean? Like, started taking it serious? Like, putting in more hours, or switching up the flow, or like learning techniques, or what do you
Honestly,
mean?
like I went to school to become a hygienist so that I can invest all my money into being an artist because I knew it was going to be expensive and I didn't want to like feel like I have to rush my art to pay the bills. So I just like, I could create at my own pace and it's more impactful. I feel like it's not like quantity, it's more quality.
Right.
So
right.
doing that over time consistently just pays off,
Yeah.
But
Do you like being a hygienist?
I do. I really do.
Really?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I meet all kinds of people, man.
Oh, I'm
all
sure.
kinds of people.
You probably see
Yeah.
some nasty teeth, though, huh?
Some dirty teeth. Yeah, I'm not like disgusted by it though. Like I'm like
Actually,
nerded
like-
out by it. If anything, I'm just like, whoa.
You're like, damn, son.
Like I see the transition, like the transformation from like
Mm. From before they come in.
all
until
that
when they-
tartar and then like healthy
Yeah.
gums. Yeah.
No, that's crazy because when I first started going to college, I was like, oh, I'll be a dental hygienist. And then I was like, do I really want to do that? Like, I was like, I don't know if I really
It's
want
not
to do
for
that.
everybody. It's not
No?
for everybody, for
Yeah.
sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, anyways.
Because like say like
constant-
nurses, like
Uh-huh.
what they deal with and like all the poop and all the throw up, like I can't deal with that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
sure.
like
Oh, yeah, that's
So
gnarly.
some people feel that way about, teeth and
Or
gum
even,
disease and bad breath.
Even caretakers, bro. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But how has being a dental hygienist helped you, with your music?
That's a good question.
I mean, besides like paying the bills, but have you?
That's really it, bro. Because honestly, like, probably not until like probably like a year ago, like I didn't really mix music with my work. Like, like my coworkers didn't know I did music.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
that would work with them for like over a year, and they wouldn't
Yeah.
know that I'm an artist.
The,
Like,
it's funny when I was watching some of your videos on Instagram. By the way, you can give a shout out on your Instagram if you want.
just the letter B, Gravity 9.8.
B Gravity, and that's where people can find your music, right? B
Yeah.
Gravity.
Yeah.
On Spotify and basically everything, right?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah. Just
All
if you-
that.
Go ahead.
No, I just said all that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you guys are just tuning in, you're listening to KCA Radio live on the station. Sorry, he told me to say that out loud. I'm with B Gravity here. This guy is very interesting because he wears lots of hats and caps. Louder? Okay, you're listening to KCAA live. There you go. Live on the radio with B Gravity. Did you double check if you sent any music? If not,
I did
hey,
not.
honestly, that's
Yeah.
okay. You guys can just go on Spotify and look up B Gravity. He got some music coming out. And then also June 25th, you guys got a show or
June 28th.
June 28th?
La
yeah.
Santa in Santa Ana. Yeah. Follow me on Instagram, link in bio. Discount code is just the letter B, Gravity 9.
Okay.
I took my homie out to Santa Ana, and then we walked by La Santa, and there's one in Hollywood that he loves to go to, and he's like, bro, there's one in Santa Ana. I was like, yeah, let's go. But this was during I think it was Stagecoach or something, and it was empty, bro. I was like, oh man, that sucks. But if you're doing a show there, we might as well just go and check it out.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Last I heard, like 80% sold out.
Really?
It's definitely gonna sell out. Yeah, we got Self-Provoked, Gremlin.
Oh, Self-Provoked's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
got some great performers on the lineup.
Yeah, Kyle. I mean, he still does it. He actually got back into it. But talk a little bit about what you do, Kyle.
I've been a show promoter for about 10 years now. With except for COVID between 2020 and 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a venue called Clash City Station, and that was in Riverside, kind of in the Tri-Point area between Riverside, High Grove, and Grand Terrace. And so we had a venue there for 4 years, and then we traveled on the road, and now we're bringing it back. Once we find a venue, we're going to start throwing more shows.
Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah,
was-
definitely.
He was the one that actually first got introduced to like Sonny Babel and Navian and like everybody out there. And we used to go to these shows, and he's like, "Oh, that's him, that's him, that's him." I was like, "Oh, okay." Like he knows all like the big hitters. I was like, "Okay, that's really cool," you know. And every few years, or the last 2 years, we did the Inland Empire Awards.
Yeah.
That was really cool. I don't know how people get into it or how you can get into it, but it's definitely a good place to get your name up there and stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I see on your Instagram you got a lot of like views on your videos and stuff. You're pretty consistent with that, huh?
Yeah, I like to send my videos out, and then I do ads too. The ads is where it comes in, though. Like a lot
Really?
of people really
I
stumble
bet,
across
yeah.
those ads. I try to make my content in a way like if you're scrolling and you see something random, like you kind of want to stay there. So
Right.
Yeah.
do a little bit of that with some good music, and
You're
a
good
lot
to
of
go,
people
huh?
respond to it.
Yeah. I see that on some of your videos. Like you'll go to like random people and like have them listen to your music and then get like their input and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like there was I was standing in line once, and this guy was talking about how he was an artist, and I listened to his track, gave him all this feedback, and we're just talking. I told him that I was an artist, and then he listened to mine. And I had these glasses, so I just like recorded the moment, and I was like, "Yo, this is a promo moment." Like,
Yeah,
listen
that's
to that.
cool.
Like, before, like we're just chopping it up, but it just turned into a promo moment. So,
And you're
gotta
just
think on
like
your toes,
you're just like Meta, start recording.
Just click a button right.
Oh, you click a button? Oh, and the light comes on, huh?
Boom.
I have those glasses, but I never use them, and I've always wanted to go to a club or something, and but I didn't want to.
It's pretty like
weird.
bad in the dark. Like it
Is
kinda
it?
sucks. Yeah, I tried that, but anywhere else, like outside, is pretty good.
Yeah.
It has a good mic too.
I've always wanted to have like a GoPro, because like when I go out clubbing, dude, I'm a
Yeah.
social butterfly, bro. I started talking to everybody. I started dancing. Like it gets pretty wild, and then I'm like, man, I wish we recorded it. But yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Sam and I are supposed to interview people in Santa Monica. We
Yeah.
were supposed to do it last year, and I think we could do it this year. We have mics. We're going to start interviewing random people on the street.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because like this show, even though it's like live on Sundays, we can go on like a Monday or Tuesday and like record some stuff and then like
And then chop
upload
it
it.
up and then upload
And
it.
then, Joe here, he can just do the whole operation here without us being here. So maybe if we go to the show on June 28th, we can probably do some recordings and then like post about it and give a little showcase and stuff. So
That'd be cool.
yeah, that sounds like a good time. So, is there, besides rapping, you said you're also like a motivational speaker,
Yeah.
right? So how does that work? Do you go to like open mics, or how do you go out and like?
Nah, honestly, like it's just on my platform.
Mm.
Sometimes I feel like a need to say something, and I say it, and like a lot of people resonate with it.
Okay.
And I feel like I don't know, it just comes to mind, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't keep this to myself. I gotta get it off my chest. So
What's a recent message that came to you that you put out?
shit, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I do this like pretty often, so it's a lot of different.
Do you
stuff.
do you
Oh, my
do
bad.
it when
Did
like in the moment? Like when
Yeah,
you're,
in the moment. Like I
Yeah.
don't think about it prior. I don't like
So it's just
take
off
notes
top
or
and then you
anything
just
like that.
record it,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
just like
So you're not even camera shy then, huh?
I am sometimes. I don't know.
Really?
When I'm by myself, not really. Like, cause I can mess
Yeah.
up, and it's
And
not a
then,
big
yeah,
deal.
you
But I
can
don't know.
record it.
But I mean, it's not a big deal either way. But
Yeah.
I'm just not used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, because that's how I am too. Like a lot of times I'm like, a lot of the things that I write, it's like to myself, and I'm like, man, I should really start saying this out loud, and maybe people would understand. Like one of the things like in my bio is someone told me, he was like, bro, life is not a rehearsal, and I was like, that one kind of hit pretty hard, and I was like, no, that's very true. And then I started like And then every time when I'm like talking to people, like I catch a little like, even if like they don't understand what they're saying, they're just like talking. Like, I catch a phrase, I'm like, that's pretty good. You know, that's deep, and they don't even know it. You know, and like I've never been the one to like go out there and like motivate or anything like that. I'm kind of camera shy, to be honest. I'm not really on social media that much or anything. But
Yeah.
I'm glad you are. Someone has to be, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, there's so many like bad stuff on social media and like all that, but at the same time, you can change that. You can turn that around. And you can just put like positive stuff.
Yeah,
on
for
the
sure.
internet. You know.
Yeah.
So what made you start getting into like music and start rapping and actually trying to pursue it?
Well, I'll start off with like the homies in the garage, and we're just ciphering,
Uh-huh.
and like he was like a DJ, and he had like all this equipment, so he just play instrumentals, and we just get drunk and rap,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I wasn't really good at freestyling, so I had to do a lot of writing, and I would memorize it, and that's how I would participate. And like sometimes I would write some crazy stuff, and they're like,
Yeah.
"What? Like what?" And I don't know. I just had a lot of fun doing it, so I just kept doing it, and I was like, maybe I can like. There's this thing called Team Backpack. You ever heard of that?
Yeah. Team
Yeah. When I
Backpack.
saw those ciphers, I was like, dude,
Those
I
were
want to
hard.
rap like them. Yeah. And it kind of
100%.
just sparked something in me. So I like, you know, we would do ciphers of our own. I put together ciphers too. I don't know if you've seen that in the past. Yeah.
I'm not even sure what ciphers are.
Cypher is basically where you like choose an instrumental, and you have rappers that have like different styles hop on one instrumental. It's like a 16.
Oh,
verse.
yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like the BET Cypher, you know, when
Yeah.
they like.
Yeah.
They did one with what was it like, I forgot what they called it, but they had like Little Dicky and then like all these other rappers on there, and like they were all trash, bro. When like it sucked. I was like, that's kind of
Double XL?
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh yeah. Double X.
Yes,
So what
Double
I'm
Double
thinking.
XL fell off, in my opinion. I'm not gonna lie.
like they only did it like I only saw like
It was
2 or
great
3.
at one point.
It was,
Yeah, it
but
was.
nah.
But with
Recently,
Little
no.
Dicky and them, like it was just so bad. I was like cringing, bro. I was like, that sucks.
Yeah.
The other ones were good. I was like,
Yeah.
when they hit their freestyles and stuff, I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, the
But-
BET ones are top tier, always will be.
Yeah.
The 2011 one was, I think, in my opinion, the best. Between 2012 and 2013, those are my favorites. I go back and listen to those often.
Who was that with? Like, who was it?
The 2011 one was Slaughterhouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not I haven't really watched any of things like that, but I've also seen you do like recordings and stuff like in your car.
I have, yeah.
It's just
not-
anywhere and everywhere.
Yeah, I
huh?
just wanted to make something raw, you know, and like post
Yeah.
it.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my boys when like me and my boys cannot rap, but what we do is kind of like an exercise like before we go out and like, you know, go clubbing, whatever. Because, you know, we're going to start talking to girls or like just hanging out, just talking to new people. You don't want to be like nervous, you know? So like before, like we'll like freestyle like in the car just so we can get like
In the zone.
in the zone. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, it was trash.
Yeah.
Like every time, but it's a good time though, you know, with you and your boys, and it brings out you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
I
like
feel that.
especially when I go out and I'm like talking to people, some people can be like very judgmental, but they'll be like, oh, like why are you talking to them? Why are you talking to them? I was like, it doesn't matter who you talk to, like it's just like once you talk to them, you can talk to anybody, you know? Like
Yeah.
imagine if like you see someone who you really want to go like up to and talk to or like have an interview with, or even just like a cutie on the street, you know? What, you're just gonna be nervous? Like first, you know, you didn't warm up yet, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
like I always, like me and my boys, we like to freestyle even though we're bad at it, but it's not so we can be good. It's just so we can warm up,
Yeah.
you know?
But it's also like, you know, you're freestyling, like, you know it's bad. So like you're
It's
getting
kinda fun.
embarrassed to each other.
Yeah, it's
instead of
kinda like
being embarrassed
karaoke.
in front of like, you know, someone else.
It's kind of like karaoke.
But I get it.
Yeah, and then you have those random people hop in the car, and then you do it too, and then yeah, it turns into a whole thing. So
Huh.
yeah, you guys had a show in May, right? This last month.
Yeah, I had a show in May, but it got canceled.
Oh, it got canceled. Why?
Apparently, like something with the plumbing in the bathroom, which is something they've had an issue with for years and they haven't fixed.
Bro,
But it was
just order
basically like the bathroom was flooded, so
Oh.
you know you
Yeah.
couldn't use the bathroom at the venue. So they're
That
like, we can't
sucks.
operate. I was like, dang.
I would have got some porta potties, bro.
First thing I saw when I looked at my phone in the morning is that. I was like,
Oh,
damn.
really? That day, too?
Yeah, the day of. I was like, dang.
Dang, that's crazy.
Everyone got their refund, but yeah.
It happens. How many shows have you done?
Too many to count, honestly.
Really?
Yeah.
You do shows back to back, huh?
Not always consistently, but
Mm-hmm.
some years I've had it back to back. Some years I've had it like kind of spaced out. But
Yeah, there's some artists that we had on the show where like they're kind of more like low key, like they'll rather be in the studio, and then we have other artists who love to just go out there and perform. Like they just want to
Yeah.
be like out there with the crowd.
I feel like every year is different. It just
Yeah.
depends on where you're at, I guess. Like, did you just release? Did you just, go on a performance binge? Like, what are you gonna do now? Like,
Right,
you
right,
know,
yeah,
like-
yeah. Like what's
'cause
next?
there's an
Yeah.
opportunity out there. If you really want to be outside performing as an artist, like you can do it. Like, just gotta meet the right people, network.
Yeah, how do you network?
I just go to events that I
that's the best
see,
way.
and yeah, basically
I think one of
everywhere I go,
one of the first event that Kyle took me to was his name was Big Tokes, and it was out in LA, and that was pretty interesting because
Yeah.
it was like in this alleyway at first, but the venue was nice. Like once you walked in, it was like they turned this abandoned warehouse into like this whole like stage, and like they had like bartenders and stuff there, and that was the night where I was like I really got to experience like underground artists who were like performing and stuff,
that's cool.
Yeah, no, it was definitely something. So it is the bottom half of the hour, you guys. We're gonna take a quick 5-minute break, but when we come back, we're gonna continue talking to B Gravity. Go ahead and look him up on Instagram and listen to his music on Spotify, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. So hang tight.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Challenging conventional wisdom can advance society's understanding of truth. Good. Arrogantly challenging the complex balance of nature, however, can go kablooey. Very bad. In recent times, there's been an unfortunate tendency for some scientific hotshots to send society off on techno-tangents to, quote, remake nature, promising miracles. About 70 years ago, for example, a so-called ag science genius promised that dumping synthetic pesticides on monoculture crops across the globe would end hunger. Chemical giants and governments rushed to do the dump, but the fix ultimately resulted in the ongoing poisoning of Earth's land, water, food, and people, while enriching agricultural monopolists and allowing hunger to rage. Unfortunately, insistence by technologists and profiteers that they can outsmart and overwhelm nature is now being pushed with cosmic vengeance. A covey of arrogant academics and billionaire backers are saying, trust us, we can handle that little global warming issue. One is named David Keith, running a $100 million, quote, stratospheric solar geoengineering scheme named SCOPEX. Keith proposes to solve global warming by, get this, dispensing volumes of sulfur dioxide into the Earth's stratosphere to, quote, regulate the amount and location of sunlight around the globe. Gosh, what could go wrong with that? Never mind the unknown consequences of tampering with basic nature, argues Keith, for his bold techno-fix to global warming bypasses the political difficulty of ending our fossil fuel addiction. So we should just do it. This is Jim Hightower saying Keith does admit that he can be inappropriately forceful. I'm intense, he says. Well then, let's all chip in for some therapy sessions to help him overcome his megalomania before he makes an irreversible mess of the only planet we have that sustains life. The Hightower Radio Lowdown is made possible by you subscribers to Jim Hightower's Lowdown on Substack. Find us at jimhightower.substack.com.
Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Super Tea comes from the only tree in the world that fungus does not grow on. As a result, it naturally has antifungal, anti-infection, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammation, and anti-parasite properties. So the tea is great for healthy people because it helps build the immune system, and it can be truly miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. The tea is also organic and naturally caffeine-free. A 1-pound package of tea is $49.95, which includes shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E-B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. California time. That's 818-610-8088, TahiboTeaClub.com.
Hey, Southern California, you know what's going on. It's my new hit show, The Scene with Doreen, and I'm your host, Doreen Taylor. Join me every week as I chat with my celebrity friends from TV, movies, music, theater, sports, and everything in between. We explore the lives and careers of some of the entertainment industry's biggest names, with some fun surprises, too. Tune in to The Scene with Doreen Tuesdays at 7 a.m. on KCAA Radio, 1050 a.m.
Was your car involved in an accident or just need help with dents? All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. In business for over 30 years. Their highly trained staff and certified technicians and friendly staff are the best in the business and treat each car as if it was their own. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are family owned and offer state-of-the-art equipment and tools to ensure optimum results. They use the latest technology in computerized color matching and specialize in frame repairs. With their modern laser measuring systems, they're OEM certified, and they have 4 locations to serve you. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers offer rental car assistance with free drop-off and pickup services too, and their work has a lifetime guarantee. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers are in Norco, Eastvale, Moreno Valley, and in Fontana. Call them at 1-800-61-MAGIC. That's 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Body Collision Centers. 1-800-61-MAGIC. All Magic Paint and Auto Body says, drive carefully.
Welcome back, everybody. Happy Sunday. You're listening to Whatever Works on KCAA 1050 AM and Express 106.5 FM. I'm your host, Sam Works.
I'm Kyle Kerrigan.
And we got
your boy B Gravity.
I like the energy. That was better than my energy. Coming in. All right. Anyways, welcome back, everybody. If you guys are just tuning in, you guys listen to Whatever Works, which is we bring in a guest every Sunday and we talk about whatever works. So this week we have a special guest, B Gravity. He's a music artist out in like Hemet, right? Is that cool?
Yeah, I don't represent Hemet though.
Okay. do you represent anything?
I've been out there for like 4 months.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's get it straight. I'm from Moreno Valley, California.
All right.
Born and raised.
Yeah.
Monval.
Some of the best artists I know come from Moreno Valley.
Yeah. No, I.
Yeah, I didn't clarify earlier. I just I'm from Hemet, or I live in Hemet.
Yeah. So that's why I said my bad, guys. Anyways, B Gravity, he's also he's a dental hygienist, and that's how we met. He was cleaning my teeth, and playing his music. I liked it. I was like, yo, I got my radio show. Why don't you come on? He does have a lot of music out right now. Just look up B Gravity, 9.8 or
9.8,
9.8 on Spotify and everything else. Are you on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got like music videos and stuff, right?
Not really, honestly. I have one. But
okay.
My main thing is short form content. I feel like people don't really want to watch a full music video nowadays. Like short form attention span. Yeah. All that.
Yeah, it's definitely changing nowadays. So I think like the average time span that people watch videos is like what?
18
10
seconds.
Yeah, 18 seconds. Yeah.
That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. So, but then I
Maybe
also
10.
I also think social media is like kind of like doing that by not allowing you to post long videos. You know what I mean? Like I think on Instagram, like I don't really do social media, but it was like only a minute for a video or something, and things like that. So it's kind of
For your stories, it's a minute, and then reels, it's 90 seconds.
Mm.
And then if it's a post, I don't think there's a limit on the post.
Oh,
No.
okay.
So I've seen videos on there like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like watch my like.
Like when
full-
they post their lives or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you go live on Instagram and stuff?
I can't go live for a good amount of time.
Okay.
For what I told you earlier.
Right, right,
yeah.
right.
You get shadow banned.
Yeah. But I'm not shadow banned anymore. I just can't go live. That's the only feature I can't use right now. But yeah.
No, that makes sense. I would understand that, to be honest. I never done anything. Well, I can't say that, but I never I never got like blacklisted or shadow banned before. You know. It
sucks.
So I wouldn't. Know.
I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
Yeah. You know, I wish I got into like I'm one of those guys who are like, oh, when Instagram came out, I was like, I'm gonna wait, and then I waited like 6 years, and then like TikTok, I never even got into TikTok, you know, but it's like I'm never like into the trends, you know what I mean? And I'm sure like if you jumped in the trend in time, then you can definitely be able to like promote yourself and like build your quote unquote resume on social media a lot faster, you know?
For sure.
I'm actually gonna start taking like classes and courses on how to like build up your social media, because even when I was doing real estate, like a lot of it was based on social media.
Yeah.
That's a lot of things nowadays, you know? Like if you want to like publicize, like the easiest way to reach out to people is through social media.
For sure.
You know, so it's kind of crazy there. But other than what you got going on June 28th, which by the way, if you guys are just tuning in, they have a show in Santa Ana at La Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah, June 28th. You guys can get your tickets. Just hit up B Gravity on his Instagram, and then yeah, definitely go to the show. I'm gonna try to make it. Is that like a Friday or a Saturday?
Saturday, June 28th.
June
June
28th.
La Santa.
Oh, okay.
Usually I have Fridays off. I was hoping it's a Friday, but I'll see what I can do.
For sure.
Yeah, we like to go and promote and like be there with our artists and stuff. That's how we network.
Yeah.
Kyle and I, we used to go out every weekend after the show.
It's
And
a top dog.
yeah, the top dog in Ukaipa. That's crazy. And meet some people. Even after our show, one of our buddies, he performed at the, what's the place in Anaheim? House of Blues?
House of Blues in Anaheim. Yeah.
Yeah, we went there.
Yeah. Shout out to Reggie Levy.
Yep. Did some networking there. And then, you know, I was like, hey, it's a Friday night. Let's go out and this and that. So besides making music and your career, what do you like to do for fun?
I like to play pool. I like to play golf. Just vibe, bro. Like I like trying new things, you know? Just
Yeah.
like going out and about. But yeah, lately it's been a lot of pool. It's been a lot of
Really?
pool. Yeah, I haven't really played pool throughout my life, but
Where do you go?
whenever I relapsed on alcohol, I went to this bar and I played pool and I just got hooked, bro. So like
Really?
like 2-3 times a week I'll go to that bar and just play pool.
What bar?
Have a couple it's called Trail 2.
Is that in
It's in
Hemet?
Hemet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
It's like a little dive bar. It's not like a big space, so
Right, right,
it's
right.
like going
not
to
like
the
a
homie's
billiards.
house. Like
Right, yeah.
everyone's, it's always the same people. They know what beer I want. So,
Hey, that's
there you
cool,
go.
man.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool.
good customer service.
You'd be like, hey, you should play my music.
Dude, I've tried. Yeah, there's this little app. It's called Touch Tunes. Have you heard of it? In like every location, I don't know. They have like a little jukebox in the corner,
Yeah.
and you like pay for tokens. But there's a lot of my favorite music that I really like that isn't available because it's not popular enough to them. So I'm just like, bro, like it's gonna be a minute before I get on there, but it's gonna happen
One of these days.
one
huh?
day.
Yeah. When was did you ever have like a big moment in your music career where you're just like, all right, I'm moving up, like that realization?
Just doing shows and like getting that, like receiving the crowd's energy and just like feeling like I put on a good show, and like I feel like I don't know, I just have the full package as an artist. Like it has a message, I interact with the audience, they have a good time, we all have a good time, and like I'm connecting with people that connect with my music.
Right.
And
You ever opened for some big people?
Lil Maru, you know
Oh,
Lil
Lil
Maru?
Maru?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
had
okay.
like a tour, and the last bit of his tour was in his hometown in San Diego at the House of Blues,
Yeah.
and I got to open up for him right there. It was a sold out show.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
yeah, it was pretty lit, man. It was, so at that point, yeah, that was probably the big moment then.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
because that was the biggest stage I've ever been on to this day. So
Wow.
Is there anyone
But-
you want to open up for in the future?
just anyone that's in my like their audience would enjoy my music.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, there's a lot of like hip hop in the IE that's like more like club, like
Yeah.
you know, like mine isn't like club. Mine's like boom bap,
Yeah.
underground type of vibe. But aside from that, I got booked to perform in Austria and Belgium,
Oh.
and that's gonna be in August. So I'm gonna be leaving for a week.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Okay.
be leaving for a week, and
That's cool.
I'm gonna be going with like 6 other artists that I've never met, and we're just like gonna represent America. We're gonna
That's cool.
They're having like this like little festival they do every year. They have it monthly on the summer. I think it's June, July, August, and the August one is the biggest one, and that's the one we're gonna get to perform at.
Dude, that's awesome.
So,
how did you
yeah.
get so lucky?
Just networking, man. Just
Yeah.
networking. Yeah, like just showing people love, networking, and working. You know, like people see that I'm working, and you know, I don't know, it's just networking. I feel like just making a good impression and
Yeah.
conducting yourself like a professional, and you know, people notice that, and people reach out with opportunities. Like it just, you know, like
What would you say like your niche is like as a music artist? Like what makes you stand out from other artists?
the fact that I advocate for mental health and the fact that I try to uplift other people, like
Yeah.
motivational speaking. I feel like a lot of people don't really introduce those conversations, and I just like say what's on my mind, you know,
Why do you think people don't do that?
because a lot of the time when you're a rapper, you have a image to uphold, like a tough, masculine
Yeah.
energy.
You're a rapper.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and especially in the IE, there's a lot of like gangster rappers. So it's like,
Yeah.
can't be gangster like this. You know? So, you know, it's their style. That's their art, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone has their art form, their own style. And we are the culture, you know.
Yeah. Have you ever done like either before or after a set, like during a show, and like did like a motivational like speech or something?
Yeah, I try to incorporate like little speeches in between.
Okay.
Like for my song Rock Out, it's called Rock Out. Basically the whole message is that no matter what happens in your life, as soon as you step out into the porch, your front door, the show must go on. So no matter what technical difficulties you're having, rain or shine, the show must go on. So
Plumbing
like
issues.
never put your dreams on hold.
Yeah.
That type of vibe.
You know, that's crazy. There's a saying, and it's like, you know, most people, you know, they die like in their 80s, but actually they die like in their early 20s, and that's just because like their dreams, bro. Like, you know, they stop dreaming after 20. You know, they get.
I think it was men die at age 30 but get buried when they're 80.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I just saw that quote too.
Oh,
Like,
you
not
did?
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like, actually, let me quote you on that.
You know, Sam and I for S&J Radio did motivational quotes for a while. So
Yeah.
every once in a while you'll hear one of our quotes that
Yeah.
well, not our quotes, but like
we would say quotes
what other people did.
like motivational quotes like during their little breaks.
We
while they
almost did
play
like
music.
200 of them.
Yeah.
We
No, it's
did a
pretty
lot of
cool.
them.
This guy was like, hey, you know, you guys have a good radio voice. I have my radio. It's called SNJ Radio. No negative news, no politics, just feel good music. It's
Yeah.
part of our sponsor. And he was like, I'll pay you guys for every line that you guys record. And, you know, a lot of them was like, all right, off the top of our heads, like, what are some good quotes, you know, good messages. And then after that, we're like, we got to start looking this stuff up because there's,
Yeah.
you know, there's so many out
quote
there.
we were famous people quotes on Google.
You know, but I mean, the way I think of it is like my motivational moment is typically like here on the show, like when I talk to people, especially a lot of people on the show are artists or authors or even like anything, and they have like this business or this vision that they just want to create and build. And I always find it encouraging on, even for me, like on my end, you know, like when you said like as soon as you step out on that front porch, boom, like show must go on. Like I was visioning while you were saying that. I was like, okay, so now I already know every time I'm gonna step outside, it's game on, dude. You know what I mean?
Showtime,
like,
baby.
Showtime. And like today, I wasn't feeling it, bro. Like I'm not gonna lie with you, I wasn't feeling it. And then my partner, he was like, hey, like let's go to the gym, let's go do something. And I was like, all right, fine, let's go to the gym. And I didn't want to go to the gym, but as soon as we got in that car, I was like, I'm gonna do it regardless. You know, it doesn't matter how I feel. And that's like one of the things, like we should acknowledge, you know, our feelings and our emotions, but at the same time, we can't let our feelings and emotions like dictate what needs to get done or what doesn't need to get done. You know what I mean? I mean, there's a deadline for everybody, you know? And so like for me, it's like, okay, regardless of how I feel, I gotta keep going. You know, like you said, like the show must go on. It sucks that your guys' show got canceled. You know what I mean?
I was ready.
For like,
I was so ready.
because of a plumbing issue, bro. Like
Yeah.
you could have. I would just called up some porta potties, and be like, hey, bro, let's just do that or something, and have everyone.
I promoted the crap out of that show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they even move the date down, or they just?
It's gonna be in July now. In July.
Okay.
So June, July, then August. It's gonna be a couple shows.
Nice.
How many shows do you do a year?
I don't know.
On
Maybe like
average.
6 or 7 or.
Really? That's pretty good.
That's a pretty good amount.
Yeah.
But like the shows, like the years that I've done like a lot of shows, like it'd be like 2 a month.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like back to back, just like networking, trying to get myself out there.
How do you prepare
And-
yourself for a show?
Just rap my bars.
Yeah, you just show up.
Yeah. Okay.
Whenever I'm alone, you know, I'll play it in the car or whatever. Sometimes I'll have the house to myself. I'll just play it and just rap, practice my breathing, like places or whatever, and just make sure I'm sharp with it. Yeah. That's it though. Like I've thought about like renting out studios, like performance studios, and just like rehearsing, like sound check and all that. I was like, I don't know. That sounds a little pricey. Like, my living room is a lot cheaper. So I'm just like,
Yeah, for sure. Or even in a car.
And I've had good results with it. Like it helps. It really does.
Yeah.
So.
What can you share your first experience going up on stage and doing a show?
Man.
Trash or what?
Yeah, it was
It's
so bad, bro. So bad. Cause like when I first started rapping, I really wanted to rap fast. I was just like, I really want to just show
Get
y'all
it,
how
yeah.
fast I could rap and how intricate I am. And I just like, yeah.
I can imagine, bro.
Yeah,
It's
because like I had something to prove, and I just
Yeah.
like I would overdo it. I wouldn't like I would write in a way where I don't have any space to breathe, and like just like yeah, boom, 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 boom.
Rap God over
And-
here.
Yeah, and I didn't like take off the vocals for my tracks when I performed, so it would just be like me just
shit.
rapping so fast with the vocals in the background, and it's just like it was so bad, like production wise, like you can't understand a word I was saying, and I wouldn't interact with the crowd. I'd be all nervous. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty bad.
So
I've come a long way.
What are some ways you interact with the crowd during your music?
Telling them to make noise. Obviously,
Okay.
I'll say something, they something back.
Telling them to
It's
get
like-
closer to the stage, or
Or yeah, like yeah.
Okay.
I'll like go to one side, tell them to make noise, go to the other. You know, put your hands up. You know the
Yeah, yeah.
all those things that you see all the successful artists do.
the last show that we went to at House of Blues, because like you know they had like 5 or 6 different artists that came out and like performed, and each one different every time.
It was
Different every
such a
time.
weird show.
Like,
But
the
it
first-
was good.
Yeah, the first artist he came up, he did like poetry first. You know, he like did a little poetry and then he got into it, and it was kind of cool. He was very lyrical. And then like this other guy, like he started like playing his music before he even came up on stage. Like he was like walking to the stage as he's like, you know, but like he was so confident, and like a lot of people were there to like support him. So
Yeah.
like it wasn't just like
It was like a 90s kind of vibe.
yeah, he was a
Like,
cholo.
yeah.
It was actually really dope. I was like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming out with some flair. And then
And our boy Don Jesse.
Don Jesse. So like they do like a multi-genre music. So like they'll just like switch it up to like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, and they'll do like a wardrobe change.
yeah, like every time it was like a different switch up, they'll change like their clothes and stuff. And I was
Yeah.
like, that's kind of cool.
And he put flowers in his mic, and then he'd throw flowers out to the to the girls.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
What was funny? What was funny was, and I said this last time when we had him on the show. I was like, it was either him or his partner, bro. Like they threw the flowers I swear, it didn't even
Oh,
arch.
yeah.
It didn't even arch, bro. It went straight to me, and I was like,
Yeah.
I had to like throw it back. I was like, I did not just catch these flowers, bro. Like to me, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was like, oh
Men
man.
deserve their flowers too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah.
There you go.
Going all June with it.
All June, baby.
All June.
And then the last one.
Oh no, there was a guy before then. It was
Those Samoans.
yeah, the two Samoans.
That was wild.
These big guys did some real big energy, bouncing around, got the whole crowd. I'm like, man, I hope these guys do not fall off stage. But man, these guys, these guys were like super hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Reggie, they had those LED like foam sticks.
And then they wrote their Instagram.
Yeah,
on
they
it.
put like their Instagrams on them and stuff, and like just threw them out to the crowd, so like everyone just had something to like
That's smart.
dance. Yeah, you
I
know.
might just have to use that June 28th.
Like those foam sticks, like you can
Yeah.
get like 50 of them for like $50, and then you just use
Yeah.
a Sharpie and just write B Gravity 9.8. You know?
Yeah,
Let me,
see?
let me pull my phone notes that down before I forget.
No, because I was like during that whole show, I was sitting there like. I have to like really get into it for me to get into it. But once I'm into it, I start dancing, like I start vibing. But like the first couple of guys that came out, I was just like head bobbing, and I was just like watching how they perform, you know, like how they set up, like how they were talking to the crowd, how they're getting involved, like how they're just like just their own little style, you know. And each one had a different style every time, and I was like, that's actually kind of cool, you know. I did feel bad for the first guy though, because
Yeah,
like
he didn't have any really he didn't really lock in with this crowd.
yeah, so I was like,
Yeah.
And at first I was like, maybe, I don't know, but it was good. So I love going to like underground shows and like upcoming artists,
100%.
like, because
Those are the best shows.
you know what it is. I saw like T-Pain and stuff like at like clubs and everything. And it's just like they're already famous, they're already there. So like a lot of the stuff is like nonchalant.
T-Pain?
T-Pain,
Nonchalant?
nonchalant, bro.
Did you see his Coachella performance?
No,
It was
Bruh.
Yeah,
was it not
That
nonchalant?
shit was not
bro?
nonchalant.
Really?
But it was his first time performing there, so it was like a special thing. But he like went all out with it. Like
Really did,
I was
he
seeing a
did.
lot of clips. I was like, dang, I've never been to Coachella. I was like, I wish I went that time though. That's for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, it was during the Super Bowl, all representing LA all the way across, and I was in Long Beach, and we're gonna go like one of my favorite clubs is like Sevilla's. The one in Riverside sadly closed, but there is one in Long Beach, and I was like, oh, let's go to Sevilla's. I was me and my lady, and then like next door there was like a 2-story building and just like lights and people dancing. I was like, we're going to that one. That one looks fun. We get in line, and then all we hear is like, oh, like T-Pain's gonna be playing here. T-Pain's playing. And we're like, yeah, whatever. Dude, this guy, he came to Long Beach. He was like, I'm here for the Super Bowl, right? But the night before, he was like, oh, I'm gonna go do a show. And he chose his club to go do a show. Like it was like a random night. He just popped up. He's like, hey, let me do a show tonight. And then it was like $20 to get in, right? And then as soon as found out that T-Pain was in, then they charged. It was like $150 a piece. And then it went from like it went from like $15 shots to like $70 shots.
Yeah.
And I was like,
real.
and I was like, I looked at the bartender. I was like, 70. She was like 70. And don't forget to tip. I was like, yo,
And
that's
don't
crazy.
forget the tip is crazy.
It's crazy.
I didn't tip. I was like, I ain't doing that. $70 for 2 shots, like a piece. I was like, nah, that's not happening. But he just went up on stage and he was just like, he just did his, just did his thing. I was like, okay, like,
scam.
yeah. I was like, T-Pain, that's cool. But when I go to these underground shows, like they're putting, they have to put their energy out, bro. Like
Yeah.
if people
because
don't
trying
like
to get
you,
everyone's trying to get known. So
they want to get known, bro. So like they're putting on the best performance they can put on, And then T-Pain's like, let me just make some money tonight. And you know what I mean? I'm gonna use this money to bet on the Rams or something. Like it was just it's crazy. But yeah, like being on the radio and like getting to know like all these artists and like different people. Like there's things I didn't know. Like Nabian, he's a music producer for like Drake and Kanye and stuff. And he was like, bro, I'm trying to get out of it. I was like, what? Because I didn't know about like the ins and outs about like the music industry and stuff like that, But a lot of people, they want to get into it, and I'm all for it,
yeah.
Because like rappers, like they have their own message, and so, I mean, some rappers, some people just try to like, just try to front basically,
Rhyme words.
Yeah. And like try to act, no, like they try to act gangster, and it's like, bro, everything that you're saying is not valid, you know, to the point. So, and at least with you, like you actually shine some light on your own, on yourself, like being a motivational speaker, and like some of the lyrics that you rap, you know, it's like it actually has meaning, actually has a story, rather than like some people just trying to rap gangster, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of like the difference too, because I had this one artist. What is a song that you put out that people really, really liked, and why do you think they did?
I got a song called "Wisdom is Wealth." So just think about that. Wisdom is wealth. They say health is wealth, but I was like, wisdom is wealth too.
Yeah.
You know, so basically it's like in life, like the mindset that I have, like I don't take L's. Like every experience I have is a dub, because even though like from an external view it looks like I lost, on the inside like I learned something from it, I gained something from it. So when you're gaining something, you're winning.
Right.
So the wisdom that you gain from your experiences makes you a wealthy man.
That's pretty solid right there.
Yeah. So when you listen to the song, that's the whole idea I'm trying to say with that, and just like talking a little bit of crap.
Okay.
And yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's
A
pretty
message
interesting.
with a little bit of ego, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's what gets people, like when like they start to understand that, or they can like resonate with that, you know, like I feel like that attracts more people rather than just like you trying to come out with like a bop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes bops, they go hard. You're like, oh, this is.
And
gonna
it's a gritty like boom bap instrument. I wish I sent it to you, but yeah. Wisdom is wealth. Be Gravity.
There you go.
All
There you go.
platforms.
We actually only got like
1 minute.
a minute left here on the
Okay.
show.
3?
Three
We got 3 minutes.
But go ahead and give your social media out and your music again one more time. So
just the letter B, Gravity 9.8. I repeat, just the letter B, Gravity 9.8.
Instagram, Spotify, look him up. Check out his music and everything. Now, what does 9.8 mean?
So 9.8 is a symbol of consistency. 9.8 meters per second squared is a constant acceleration of gravity. My name is B Gravity, so it's a motivational message. Basically, be gravity, that's a consistent force. As long as you stay consistent with whatever you want to do in life, eventually you get to where you need to be. Simple laws of physics, you feel me?
Yeah.
So
I feel you.
9.8, baby.
9.8.
9.8. All right, you guys, we're going to close it up now, but thank you so much, B Gravity, for coming on the show. It's been a long time coming. I hope we get to go out and see you perform at La Santa at Santa Ana, June 28th. Get your tickets. Just hit up B Gravity on Instagram. That's B Gravity 9.8. And then we'll see you guys next time with a new guest. Listen to Whatever Works on KCAA.
Like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. Got that sunshine on my Sunday best.
Are you graduating high school soon and wondering what to do next?